Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm fucking up. Hey, it's your boy Bootay here. Um, this is gonna be a test video to see how this is gonna work exactly. I'm not sure. I kind of like things without structure. Uh, kind of let things come in from the ether, improvisation, jazz, like fucking bebop, like a bebop, scat. All right, not like that kind, but all right, whatever. Yeah. So I'm here to talk some shit about everything. Yeah. I guess we should start. My name is Bootay. I am awesome. I like to fuck around. I like to talk. I like to think about things, extrapolate, context clues through life. But yeah, I guess we should start with my views on life and like. So I guess we'll start with my philosophy on life. Yeah. Yeah, let's start there. Yeah. So I have recently really thought about how I view philosophy and how I apply it to life. And one of my favorite philosophers is the French kind of a new wave thinker, uh, one of the postmodern uh, French intellectuals during the new wave of philosophy. He's a deconstructionist, a strict deconstructionist, breaking things down, wondering how things get to where they are and why people do the things that they do. And, why life, although we try to apply order, it's always chaotic intrinsically. So yeah, Bootay is gonna lay down the fucking law here about how life should work. So I have extrapolated from Derrida, Jacques Derrida. Look him up, Derrida, I believe. I think it's double R, not double D. Derrida. But yeah, he's pretty cool. I don't agree with everything that he outlines in his philosophy, but I do agree with the general outline of deconstruction, breaking things down to their integral parts and the inner mechanisms, like Illuminati. But yeah, we start there, and then we veer all the way over to Ayn Rand. Yeah, yeah, Ayn Rand, not Ayn Rand. Ayn Rand. If you started, if anybody claims to be a Ayn Rand acolyte and pronounces her name as Ayn Rand, Ben Shapiro, I would immediately stop that debate and I would say, hey, why don't you read a couple books and then come back when you know something? All right. But yeah, Ayn Rand, objectivism. Her moral philosophy, or not her moral philosophy, my bad, misspoke there. It's completely, in my opinion, completely amoral. But her philosophy is named objectivism. And basically, her basic tenets of her philosophy on life and how it should be is we perceive how reality exists independently of our perception. Like the saying, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, does it make a sound? Yes. According to Ayn Rand and how I feel, yes. The sound is there whether you are there to receive it or not. You know what I'm saying? And a perfect example of why that is true and how that is true is death, right? So dead people, right? Those dead people, we can't interact with them in our three-dimensional plane anymore. We cannot interact with them. Therefore, a tree falls in their cemetery, they don't hear it. There's no one else around. but it does make a sound, right? Animals can hear that. They feel the vibrations. So yeah, just because someone isn't there to perceive it doesn't mean it doesn't happen or it hasn't happened. All right, that's one. Two, she believes in rational egoism. This is a tenet that I throw away from her philosophy. Not a fan of. It's basically the Richard Greco, greed is good. Whatever the pursuit of one's happiness should be their sole goal, and by proxy, I don't know, trickle down happiness basically. People, if everybody is pursuing their own pursuit of happiness to the fullest, then intrinsically there will be, happiness is widespread or common, or I'm not sure exactly how that works, because we've seen we've seen throughout history examples of egoism gone awry. J.D. Rockefeller, Morgan Stanley. Shit, you can even say, Goldman Sachs right now. It's moral egoism, or not moral, rational egoism is a insane concept that has taken over our financial and our political system. It's all about one's. Trump is the perfect, he is the perfect example of that, of rational egoism. Everything is to the pursuit of his own happiness, no matter what anybody else has to say about it. Family be damned. God be damned. Everybody be damned. Trump gonna do what Trump gonna do, baby. And that's the American way. He is the president that we deserved. We are a reality TV country, and now we have a reality TV president. It's pretty fucking hilarious. It is. I laughed my ass off during the election. 2016, I remember the day I was working behind the bar, and I just started laughing my ass off as the numbers are coming in. I was like, yep, he's gonna win. Everybody in my bar was crying, and feels good to be right. Feels good to be right. I called it. Nobody wanted to listen to me. I was like, man, y'all are trying to pretend like Trump isn't really about to win this all. Like y'all are giving the American public a little too much credit, a little too much salt. Like, we as a populace, there's a lot of intelligent individuals that live here and are born and raised here. But as a populace, we are not intelligent. We are not an informed populace. We like to think that we're informed. It's the Kruger effect. I don't remember the first last name, but I think it's Benning Kruger, whatever. The effect where, people that don't have very high cognitive abilities believe that they are adept at knowledge of a lot of different things. Being a jack of all trades, I do pride myself on actually knowing a fair amount about a lot of different things. Master of none. I'm a master of being a dumbass. All right, so yeah, that's the second tenet, is rational egoism. Third tenet of her philosophy is, let me look this up real quick. She believes in strong proponent of property rights, which I believe in as well. Property rights, private property is a good thing, but public property, people are confused on how public property is supposed to work. Public space, public forums, the Twitters, the Facebooks. Technically, these actually are not public spheres. They are publicly owned companies, but technically they are private entities. So, with how our economy and our government works. It's supposed to be like competition. Like this is all capitalism. This is all laissez-faire capitalism. They're not supposed to be regulated. It's supposed to just be Wild West in a sense, you know. But yeah, throw away her rational egoism, which I don't feel is rational at all. Not a fan of it. Where is it? Okay. Yeah. So yeah, basically, I take her tenet of reality being outside of yourself. We use our senses to perceive that reality and to interact with it. And I believe in private property, but I don't believe in her rational egoism. Don't believe in that at all. Not a fan of greed. I do believe that society, the whole point of a society is to make sure that whatever is laid out in our charter as a country, which in our case is the Constitution, there are treaties, there's treatises, there's a document of some sort, rights of man, like there's a document of some sort written down, codified, struck into law that basically lays out the tenets of what that country's mission is. In our case, it's life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, pursuit of property, and yeah, mainly liberty. And with my philosophy, which I have named moral objectivism, that's with an M, moral objectivism. We add in a air of literal objectivism, literally taking a step back. Special interests, what we call special interests, should be downplayed as much as possible. It is something to be thought about, but the amount of power that the NRA, the Catholic Church, automotive lobby, lobbyists in general. I am not a fan of lobbyists. I would abolish lobbying in general. Like it shouldn't be a part of government. The end goal of government shouldn't be to line its pockets with the people's monies, and creating laws literally against the people, in the name of profits, GDP. Get out of here. Get the fuck. Don't even. Alright, so you take a step back, being objective. You stay objective. You don't degenerate into a tit for tat, cat and mouse. You don't degenerate into that bullshit. You sit back, you stay objective, try to downplay emotions as much as possible. Getting heated is different. Don't lose sight of the argument. It's really a way to counteract the immense partisanship and ridiculousness, the the destruction of truth, really. The destruction of an objective truth that is, it is there whether we want to believe it or not. It's not even a belief. Like it's an actual fact. Abraham Lincoln was a person. That is an objective fact. You can't. There's no room for speculation there. Like, he was a person. He lived. He actually lived. You can't. That's something you can't refute. Like that's an refutable, immutable fact. Another example: the Democrats and the Republicans. The Republicans are right now trying to coin a phrase that they're the party of Lincoln, when ideologically they're extremely different than the party of Lincoln. You know, like the ideological differences have morphed from what they were to what they are now. So technically in name, that's it. That not even technically, just in name only, are they the party of Lincoln. Republicans at that time are not the same Republicans that are in our day. At that time, it was mainly it was corporate interests. It was very much corporate interests, but Democrats represented the people in the sense that keeping the white hegemony. I think that's how it's pronounced, right? Hegemony? I'll look it up later. Keeping the white hegemony, what we call white supremacy, now keeping the status quo basically intact. That's what Democrats, the party, that's when originally that's what they stood for, or at least not originally, but at that time, the parties have morphed throughout the history of this, the minute history compared to the history of the world of this nation, and yeah. Republicans did have, they were called carpetbaggers. They did have business interests in tow, but they also wanted a bigger constituency for their businesses. So they wanted black people to be able to buy stuff. There were I don't know the exact numbers, but I want to say like 9 million slaves, something like that, at the time. It was a lot of people. It's a big market, quote unquote. So yeah, the Republicans up north somewhat wanted, abolition, some for moral purposes, but mainly for business purposes. They wanted that. They wanted some more people in the economy, stock market. Let's get this going. Let's get the stocks going. Let's go. But yeah, trading companies, all that. Yeah, that's a fact though. That's a fact that they are only the same in name. Republicans today are not the party of Lincoln. They are not about equitable access to the American dream for all. And technically, Democrats aren't either, really. I mean, but for the most part, they are, and they are more susceptible to public pressure to do things for social change. They've kind of morphed. We've morphed. The party of the Democrats have morphed into a party of neoliberalism. Somewhat, they've kind of acquiesced to the market being the end-all be-all, kind of a libertarian slant where, the market will solve all the ills. The market will solve the ills of society and also the economic and political ills of our country, which is asinine and ridiculous to think that is even possible through those means. It's never worked. We've tried it. We've tried it. We tried it. It happened. And then what happened? We tried to be isolationists, and then, our economy tanked. Our economy went into the toilet, and we took everybody else's economy with us. So, and then World War II happened. So, this This world is it's crazy. But yeah, that's my philosophy. Moral objectivism, staying objective, but keeping, the pursuit of equitable freedom to be who you need to be, and not infringe on other people's rights. I firmly believe in free speech. I firmly believe in, hate speech. Hate speech. Yeah. Like, I feel like you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want. Who cares? Say what you want to say. That's fine. If you want to participate in hate speech, that's cool. Don't expect to have too many friends or too many acquaintances or too many people that want to deal with you. But you do have the right to say that. Now, the consequences of your actions or your speech, that's not protected. No, absolutely not. I mean, so there's such a thing as public space and private space. In public space, if you're going to go around spouting hate speech, then you have to accept the consequences of doing that in a society where we have social niceties. That's the point of a society, social nicety. Like, you're supposed to help your fellow man, be there. It takes a village to raise a village. So, we should be looking out for each other. That's how it should be, and you can make it that way if you have a philosophy and a policy built off of that philosophy that pushes more of an objective way of thinking, more of a way of viewing things, and especially arguing. Argument has gone out of the fucking window in this country. I don't like it. Twitter's a goddamn cesspool of fucking idiocy and goddamn, magic dragons, and where are the memes? What's going on here? This is fucking crazy. And then K-pop stans and fucking TikTokers and goddamn fucking Gen Z fucking shitting on millennials, and I fucking love that. That shit is fucking hilarious. Those kids are fucking awesome, dude. They know what the fuck's going on, and they're so witty. The wit is fucking, it's there. It's so there, dude. Woo, bro. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I do that. Yeah, bro. I don't even identify as a fucking millennial. I like to call myself Gen Y. I'm a contrarian. I don't like doing shit that everybody's doing. I don't. It's always been a thing. I just can't get with it. I can't get with the times. I'm fucking, yeah. I'm an old man, I don't fucking, get off my porch, fucking goddamn kids, fucking in your, fucking, rubbing on your phones and putting Tide Pods in your butts and shit, and fucking, dipping tampons and fucking grain alcohol and fucking, sticking them in your taints. I don't know, doing what you do. I don't know what your kids do out there nowadays. They're both do the dirt. All right, but yeah, it's this discourse in this country has become a fucking nightmare. There are not very many, prominent entry. What the fuck happened to James Carville? What the fuck? Where'd the Raging Cajun go? The debate, I was watching Old School the other day, and the Raging Cajuns, and you remember the part where fucking Will Ferrell, they're starting to do the trial, and the dean comes up and starts talking shit, and he's like, yeah, you got to do these trials, motherfucker, or else we're gonna kick y'all out, and all the students are gonna get expelled. All the dumbass students that you roped into this dumb shit, they're all getting expelled too. So that's all that's gonna be on your conscience. And then they do they have the tests, the fucking gymnast test and all that shit. And then they do the debate. And Will Ferrell is the debatee, I guess. He's debating James Carville, a world-renowned, debater. I actually don't know much about James Carville. I don't know. But yeah, he has this, you know, moment of clarity, this fugue state where he just fucking, you know, he lays out the exact premise and like a perfect argument for the premise of, you know, the debate. And yeah, that's, you know, what happened to that? What happened to, you know, people, reputable voices, people, this whole anti-intellectualism that has fucking gone rampant in our country. Like, I don't know, like, it's always been there. It has always been there, but I feel like it's a fucking plague. Like, it's fucking gotten out of control. Like, nobody will listen to anybody who's a reputable, like, authority on things. Like, Bill Nye's getting shat on. Like, it's fucking insane. Like, who shits on Bill Nye? Bill Nye! God, who the fuck? What kind of country? Stupid. And then you got Europe over here just laughing at us, just laughing at the, like, and it didn't need to happen. It's not like anything happened in our country that warranted this kind of ridiculousness. Like, no attacks, no fucking 9/11s. It's literally just a president, like, that can't keep his mouth shut and can't just fucking do the job and get the fuck out of there. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, it is, I guess it is a fault of our own because we did vote him in, technically. Oh, well, I mean, the electors did from the Electoral College. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, they elected him. But, like, I don't know what to, like, this fucking country is goddamn, it's turning into a nightmare, man. Like, you know, I'm a cynical person and skeptical, very skeptical, although I am also very gullible. With person to person, very gullible. You know, big picture things, extremely skeptical. That's where my deconstruction comes in. Context clues. I use social and, you know, historical context clues for everything. You should know your fucking history. History is important. History is how I predicted how the fuck Trump came into being. Like, way before, like, as soon as I saw the first Republican debate, and this is the first time I've ever watched a goddamn primary debate. Like, this 2016 was the first year that I participated in the primaries as far as paying attention to it, knowing what it was. Primaries, that was like, well, I don't fucking know what that is. It's not for, like, governor or some shit. But, like, yeah, I didn't know what primaries were really, but I dove deep real quick and became well versed. And, like, as soon as I saw the stage for the Republican debate, I was like, this is not gonna go well for the rest of the people on stage. And they had Trump in the middle of the pack. And that, like, by placement alone, I was like, oh man, they're setting these motherfuckers up. And you could see it in his face. It was like, oh, he's about to shit on these motherfuckers. Like, he's about to do some shit that, like, nobody is, like, ready for. And then what does he do? He fucking shits on everybody and he clinches the nomination. And I was like, and people were still doubting him. Not taking him. That's when I really started to take focus. I really started to take notice when people were still talking shit and still, like, not even talking shit, but, like, not taking him seriously. That was the big mistake. That was the big mistake that the media had made, that Hillary had made, that all of my constituents, all of my friends had made. And I was like, dude, no, you don't understand. Yeah, I know Hillary is qualified for the job. Yeah, and she's next in line. Yeah, but a lot of people don't like her. Like, a lot of people didn't like her before Trump was the like, you know, that was going to be Trump versus Hillary. Like, that, I was like, that's probably going to play a factor. And, you know, people aren't taking him seriously, so I think the other side is going to get a little complacent. Like, it just, Motherfucker. It just seems like logically that would make sense, right? Like you have this super confident lady, you know, she's basically, you know, she's been all up in the Oval Office. She's ready to sit down in that big chair and get down to work, baby. Get down to bit now. But yeah, like it was a combination of complacency, bad timing on a lot of those stories, and really like motherfuckers underestimated him. That was the big one, I feel. Is they underestimated him and they didn't take him seriously. Even after he clinched the nomination. I was like, how are you not going to take him serious now that he has the nomination? He had during the primary, I was like, all right, however you guys feel about how real this is, or like, you know, how fucking serious he is. He had hundreds of thousands. This is during the primary, so just Republicans. Hundreds of thousands of people voting for him over all the other overqualified, snaky, shitty fucking candidates. They were all shitty candidates. But like, holy crap. Like, Jeb Bush's career is over. His career is over. I'm about to end this man's whole career. He literally ended his career. A career politician, a dynasty. Like, he was a Bush, bro. He was royal. He's basically a Kennedy. Like, you got the Kennedys, you got the Roosevelts, you got the Bushes, and you were supposed to have the Clintons. The Clintons were supposed to be the next, like, you know, I mean, I think Laura is or Chelsea. I think Chelsea is a senator or something, or House representative. She's something, I believe. I'm pretty sure she's in government somewhere. She's doing something. But yeah, like, you got to think outside the box. The box is big and there's a lot of compartments, but that's why I say it's a lot easier if you take yourself out of it and whatever the fuck you're worried about. It's good to not have many worries. But don't worry, you know, it's good to take whatever the fuck you're personally thinking about and extrapolate that. Like, extrapolate, because it's all underneath the power structure somewhere, somehow. So, like, you just extrapolate from, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way when I go into work? Well, you know, what's happening with my boss? What's happening with my boss's boss? What's happening with who owns the company? What's happening with our property management? What's going on with that? What's going on with who has a stake in our company? Where are these investors coming from? Boom, you go up from there. It's like, well, how did they get to where they're at? What other companies are they investing in? What entities, dark money is going into the other entities? Do they have any shell companies? You know, it's like bah, 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 bah. And then you think about this integral internal structure of our economy, the whole economy. Like, it's and the stock market is just a goddamn casino. Like, it's literally just craps and timing bets. That's all it is. Like, it's so weird. It's such a strange, surreal, amorphous entity. Like, it's really, really strange. It's hard to explain, but it's like a never-ending roulette wheel that will stop randomly. And if your bet is not in place when it stops, you lose money. At least that's the options market, which is a part of the derivatives, market, which is a whole bag of things. I don't think I'm gonna explain all of that, because that would be a whole like hour of, and it's really just it would be a whole hour of explanation and, you know, jargon. But that's really the only thing that's keeping most normies and, you know, people that think it's above their head. It's really not. It's really simple shit. The economy, the stock market, you know, trading, all that shit is fucking easy peasy. That shit is like, it's literally just obfuscated, which is, you know, which means covered from the truth, or, you know, trying to cover the truth. It's just obfuscated by jargon, financial jargon, brokerages, you know, derivatives, um, uh, earnings, um, profit over earnings ratios, trading volumes, you know, the fucking things, you know, the fucking, the words, like all the fucking words, you know, it's like, it's fucking weird, but it's not really. It's not as ridiculous as it, like, if you really sat down for, like, not even a couple of days, you would be able to get the gist of it. Like, it's really fucking not a big deal. But yeah, a good analogy is it's a casino. And, you know, a big quote, I'm on Wall Street Bets. I don't fuck around. And they don't fuck around either. We are a community of autists, and we ride that market, baby. Ride that green train. Ride that green train right to Tindy Town, baby. You bitch ass motherfucker. Alright, so yeah. Why did I bring up Wall Street Bets? Well, I don't know why I brought up Wall Street Bets. Wall Street Bets. But yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that was the first video, I guess. Explained my philosophy, talked a little bit about the market, talked a little bit about how the fuck why our nation is insane and not the greatest nation in the world. We haven't been for a while. And that's the way it is. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.